This is a demonstration of using the Invision siliconized caulk as a grout filler for Fleetwood models that have the Villa Stone luxury vinyl tile. You need 2 buckets of water. Warm water is preferred. Doesn't take a lot of water, quarter bucket. You need a soft hydro sponge, grout sponge. You need a small cloth or a towel, and of course the caulk and the caulk gun. The first step is to pre-wet the tile. The whole idea of this is to get the floor as clean as possible on your first pass. The siliconized grout residue is difficult to remove once it's dried. You want the sponge fairly dry on your pre-wet because you want to avoid getting water down into the grout joint. Just pre-wet the floor. You're going to notch your gun accordingly. You want to use some compression because you want to compress as much grout into the joint as possible. It's good to do about 4, 5, 6 squares, as much as you think you can handle the first time. And fill the joints. Doesn't hurt to overfill them just a little bit. You want to make sure that you get good compression. Your first bucket is going to have your rag in it. Once you've applied the grout, you want to use a hard epoxy grout float with a good edge. You're going to screed the caulk at an angle, and you want to make it one pass as clean as possible. And you're going to use a cloth and clean the end of the float off each time. Once you've got that accomplished, you can take your hydro sponge and on the first pass lightly clean the grout joints with one pass. You can use both sides of the sponge. You can get a little action, but the whole idea is to remove the grout as much as possible. Sometimes it can also help to, after your first wipe, you can work or dress the joints a little bit. You want to be careful not to remove too much grout, and you want to have a fairly dry sponge. You can hit the joints a little bit just to dress them out. Again, when you get the least bit of little residue on your sponge, you want to clean it off. You're going to let that set for a minimum of 30 minutes. In about 30 minutes to an hour, you can come back with your clean sponge and do a second cleaning. And then approximately 3 or 4 hours after that, if necessary, if you still see any residue, you can use denatured alcohol with a soft cloth to remove any additional residue.